What's up YouTube, this is GalacticGod, and I'm coming at you now with a Koa'Ki Meiru deck profile. This is a deck that I've been playtesting quite a bit ever since the release of Primal Origin. It's probably the deck that I like the most this format thus far. I think it opens up a lot of options, has a lot of really great, crazy combos that one can pull off in it, and it's just overall just a fun, terrific deck to play. Alright, so without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into the profile. Alright, so starting off, we have 3 of the Koa'Ki Meiru Urnite. This guy is really cool. Basically what you do is you reveal an Iron Core of Koa'Ki Meiru in your hand, and it lets you special summon another Koa'Ki Meiru monster other than himself from your deck to the field. Pretty cool. It can be any, Koa'Ki Meiru monster, so that's pretty nice. Along with them, we're playing 3 copies of the Koa'Ki Meiru Crusader. He's also a Beast Warrior, so it's going to fit well in with the theme of the deck. His effect is when he destroys a monster by battle, it doesn't even have to send it to the graveyard, he just has to destroy it, so you can kill a token or something like that and still get his effect. You get to add a Koa'Ki Meiru card from your graveyard back to your hand. So pretty awesome. These are the only Koa'Ki Meiru monsters I'm playing. I've seen some people play Ice and Boulder, I've seen Tornado, I've seen a bunch of the other Koa'Ki Meiru monsters being used in the deck. Personally, I kind of like just the main core 6, but having a 7th one in there is not necessarily a bad idea. Alright, so rounding up the rest of the monsters, we have 2 bears and 1 gorilla. This will be kind of a little bit more self-evident as we get into like the spell cards that are in the deck, but also they're all Beast Warriors, so they go good. You can reveal any of them to keep our 6 core Koa'Ki Meirus alive, which is pretty cool. I'm also playing a mini Traptrix engine with just 2 of the Murmillo and then 1 of the Dianana. I think we all know what the Traptrix do at this point. I decided to use this engine over the hands. I think it fits just a little bit better with the playstyle that I do personally with the deck, although you could definitely substitute out a Traptrix engine for a hand engine if that is something you prefer. And then finally we have 2 Maxis in the deck for a little bit more draw power, and that's going to round up the monster count. So for spells, we're playing 2 of the Iron Core Koa'Ki Meiru. I've seen some builds where they're using just 1 Iron Core, and I've seen some where they're using 3 to try and get to it as fast as possible. I think 3 is a little bit overkill. 1 is kind of nice too, because then you don't have to worry about drawing into multiples of this card, which you definitely don't want to do. Typically you just play 2 just so you can hopefully get to it as fast as possible, but then you have that extra dead card in there if, it's not always a good thing. But I kind of like it at 2. I don't normally draw 2 of them in the same game, but it does happen from time to time. From there, we have 3 of the Diamond Core of Koa'Ki Meiru. Definitely the card that rejuvenated this deck and opens up all kinds of crazy possibilities for it. It's your Rhoda for any kind of Koa'Ki Meiru card, so it's pretty cool. Plus it has that extra effect that when it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to make your Koa'Ki Meiru monsters essentially indestructible for the turn. They can't be destroyed either by battle or by card effect, so that's kind of cool. Alright. From there, we are playing 3 copies of Fire Formation Tenki. Searches out all of our Koa'Ki Meiru monsters as well as all of our other Beast Warriors such as the Fire Fist guy, so really cool. We also have 1 copy of Fire Formation Tensu. This is really nice because it allows us to get off some pretty derpy plays, especially with Tiger King and whatnot. And then finally we have 1 of the Fire Formation Goyoku, because between our Bears and Gorilla and the Tiger Kings, we're constantly digging in for Fire Formation cards. So we want to have, always ability to get a plus off of those effects. Alright. Oops. Rounding up, I'm playing 1 Dark Hole and then 2 copies of Soul Charge for the spells. For the traps, we have 2 Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmares and a Bottomless Trap Hole. This is for our Traptrix engine. So obviously you could take these 2 out and then your 3 Traptrix monsters, replace them with the hands, and then just fill out another trap or some other card that you wish to take out in place for the 6th hand. And then we have, of course, our Bottomless. We're also playing 2 copies of Breakthrough Skill, 2 copies of Wiretap, 2 copies of Dimensional Prison because we hate getting wrecked by hands, 1 Compulse, Torrential, Solemn Warning, and we have 1 main decked Black Horn of Heaven. I kind of like having just 1 main decked until you know which deck you're ultimately dealing with, and then you side deck appropriately and bring in your other Black Horns, or possibly get rid of this one if it's playing against something that doesn't really work so well against. Just kind of my personal take on the situation. Alright, so for the extra deck, we're playing 2 of the Tiger Kings, 2 of the 101s, 2 Exciton Knights, 1 number 50 Black Shipcorn, 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Koa'Ki Meiru, 1 Diamond Dire Wolf, 1 Maestroke, 1 Daigusto Emerald, 1 Gaga Cowboy, 1 number 103, and then Photon Popple Operative. As of right now, I don't own a Heartland in real life. Hopefully that will soon change, and it will definitely be included in the deck. I would suggest it in yours if you own one. There's a lot of different cards you could take out in place of it. Alright, and that's going to do it for the extra deck. Alright, so some pretty basic combos for the deck. They pretty much revolve around Urnite and the Iron Core. So if you happen to get both of these cards in your hand, you can get a nice little setup going. Also, if you have a third version of the card, whether it be another Iron Core or even another Urnite that you might have drawn into, or even a Fire Formation 10 key to get it for you, you can do a little bit more setup as well. So if you start off with just an Urnite, you can then reveal your Iron Core, special summon out your Koa'Ki Meiru Crusader. You can overlay and go right into Tiger King. Use Tiger King's effect. Bring out your Fire Formation 10 key. Use 10 key's effect. And then grab another Urnite so you're set up for the next turn. You can go into any kind of rank 4 play. Now, if you happen to already have a Fire Formation 10 key in your hand, or you already have an actual Urnite in your hand, you don't have to bring out 10 key at this point. I would actually suggest bringing out maybe Fire Formation Tensu instead, which would be pretty cool. Then you could ultimately either normal summon out the other Urnite that you have in your hand, and then you can use its effect again by revealing Iron Core once again. This will allow you to special summon out Koa'Ki Meiru Crusader again from your deck. The cool thing about Urnite is that you can use his effect multiple times in a turn, so it's not just once per turn stipulation, so it's kind of crazy. Then you can go ahead and overlay once again. Bring out another copy of Tiger King, use Tiger King's effect, this time to get you your Fire Formation 10 key. Use 10 key's effect to grab your Urnite from your deck, and then of course, you've basically set up for next turn as well again, because you still have an Urnite in your hand along with your Iron Core Koa'Ki Meiru. So next turn you can go ahead and make another rank 4 play. Alright YouTube, and there you have it. This was my Koa'Ki Meiru deck. Remember to let me know what you think of it down in the comment section below. Any kind of helpful hints on ways I can improve it will be most welcome. Also, if you know any really good, cool Koa'Ki Meiru combos, be sure to mention those, as I'm always looking to improve my gameplay as well. And I guess that's going to do it for now. This is GalacticGod, out.